We were skeptical of this move with all the reasons that Pat just mentioned, and all I can say is that I'm sorry, Luis Diaz.
Thank you, Luis Diaz, and we're definitely apologizing for all.
Unfortunately, international break is back, and you know what that means. It is time for a way too early season review for Bayern Munich. And can we do this at a better time right now? 16 for 16 as of this recording. Hopefully, we come back and edit this in right now. Breaking news!
Bayern drew against Union Berlin 2-2. I know I was especially glazing this Bayern season. I know Joey was too in our video, let me tell you. But we have drawn 2-2. Our winning streak is finito, let me tell you. I know Joey said that he's confident about it, but we got too cocky, let me tell you. But at the end of the day, the point still stands. Our season has been great. But instead, if we're gonna do a little reverse for that video, this game had to probably be the worst because we dropped points and we didn't play, obviously, the greatest football for sure. What do you think about that game, Joey?
Yeah, the game was absolutely criminal. I'm not going to dive deep into it. Look at our reaction if you want to go hear more about our yapping. But just criminal stuff. At least we were able to save it at the end. We're going to at least break Leverkusen's undefeated run, lock that in. Top of the table still after that. So nothing crazy, just definitely the worst performance of the bunch. And it's not really that crazy because PSG obviously was a very tough game. Exactly. And we didn't really swap or make any rotations other than Goretzka, which is probably a net negative. I'd rather have a tired Pavlovic than Goretzka in the midfield. So the win streak is over, but we moved. Still an amazing season. Absolutely locked that in. But yeah, breaking news, it's over.
Back to the video.
Insane start to the season overall. I don't care what tournament you look at, anywhere across the board. Right after that Club World Cup game, we won every single game so far, and it's just been an amazing sequence of events. And let's just dive into it. I think first, let's get into the Bundesliga. Obviously, no losses, no ties. We're top of the table, crazy. Without a doubt. It's absolutely insane. 9 for 9, going 10 for 10 after Union Berlin. It's already happened. I could already feel it, predicting the future. But yeah, 33 goals scored. Amazing. 4 goals conceded in 9 games.
Wow.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Crazy.
Plus 29 goal difference, 27 points. Leipzig is the closest behind the 22, and we beat them 6-0.
Yeah, I mean, what was the worst game that Bayern Munich played?
In the Bundesliga?
In the Bundesliga. It's a really interesting question. 2 games do come in mind for me. Number 1 being Augsburg. I think we won 3-2 away.
Correct.
Sandro Wagner was obviously the Augsburg
trying to haunt us.
Yeah, he's trying to haunt us. I do believe they were maybe 2 goals ahead. Bayern were 2-0 ahead, and they ended up being 2-2, and then obviously Bayern Munich scored, right? Yeah. Yep. So that's the thing. I thought a little bit stats check right here, but yeah, that's one game that also comes into mind as well. But another game that also comes to mind too that we weren't probably the greatest had to be Hoffenheim. Had to be definitely Hoffenheim for sure. I know we won 4-1 with them away, but I remember Bayern Munich's game wasn't there. But at the end of the day, we had a Champions League midweek. We scored 4 goals at the end of the day, so it's okay. So I mean, those are the 2 games that I would think were probably the worst games. But my best game, if we're gonna be kind of going there,
go ahead,
would have to be, I'm gonna say obviously the Bayern Leipzig. 6-0, we won against the second place team. Luis Diaz integrated himself in that team. Gnabry was cooking. Harry Kane hat-trick. It was absolutely fantastic. First Bundesliga game of the season. I absolutely love that for sure. Yeah, that's my worst games. That's my best games. Let's see what Joey cooks over here.
I think the worst game, Gashao, could be their Klassiker game.
Okay.
Only winning 2-1. We almost, I mean, I know we were 2-0 up, so, but it did get shaky in the end. But I don't remember it being an amazing performance. But we grabbed the win against our rivals, obviously. I think we played, I don't remember if we played at home or away that match, to be honest with you. Yeah, so even making it a little worse that, the performance was only a 2-1 win against a Dortmund team that, I mean, they just got cooked by Manchester City.
Yeah, but also in the Champions League too. So, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. Dortmund are kind of like, they're a bogey team at the end of the day. You never know what you can really expect. Yeah. They can show up in different games and they can cook you in different games. I don't know. I mean, I personally, for me, that Dortmund game, as long as we got the win, I was happy. I mean, sure, only 2-1, but we haven't won against them. So I really just wanted to get a win. And that was like the first game since international break. So for me, personally, I will let that slide. But obviously, you have
we ain't letting nothing slide.
All right.
And then, yeah, best game, I would have to agree, probably the 6-0 Leipzig, just to jump out to the debut match. Absolutely thrashing a team that was probably the next competitor up even before the season unfolded, yeah, we cooked them, absolutely cooked them. And to do it to a team like RB Leipzig next in second just shows the levels to Bayern.
I think an honorable mention that I could talk about has to be that game that we just had in the Bundesliga. The 3-0 win against Leverkusen, because we literally played like a second team. And
That's
we
true.
destroyed a Champions League winning team, essentially. And, I mean, we rested a lot of players for that PSG game, which cooked. I mean, we absolutely cooked with that for sure, which we will get into, of course, in a few moments. But, yeah, I mean, I really can't complain much. Like, Jackson scoring, Gnabry scoring. Like,
Crazy.
Hey, it was just what a game that was. And I think that's an honorable mention, too, because we played our second team, too. Like, that is another statement win because Leverkusen, obviously a Champions League team. I know, obviously, their team is looking way different compared to last year. You know, they lost so many players, but still, it's a Champions League team. And I know they just beat Benfica away from home. So definitely an integrated Champions League team. Maybe they make the playoffs. Probably will, to be honest with you, at least. Hopefully I'm right with that because we obviously do want to see our Bundesliga teams doing very well, of course. But yeah, I think that's also an honorable mention too, without a doubt.
All right, now with that, enough Bundesliga. Yeah, the next tournament, DFB-Pokal, the one that haunts us the most at night, probably. Let's just get into it. I know we haven't had much matches. We got Union Berlin coming up next, which is funny because we're about to play them tomorrow. To give them a little preview of the spanking they're going to get when they get eliminated. But I would say we had our, probably in my opinion, I'll throw it out there, worst game of the season when we played one of the most inferior sides this season, which is absolutely crazy to say. I remember only winning 3-2, and it was actually a very, very shaky performance. And I don't even believe we started that bad of a team against them because it was one of the first games of the season.
It took a last-minute goal from Harry Kane to save us the tie. I
Penalty, maybe, right?
No, I don't think it was a penalty. It might have been like a tap-in.
Tap-in merchant.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Kane had a penalty that game.
He did. I was mixing it up. Yeah, he did have a penalty.
There's so many like goals that he scored, so it's kind of hard to like that. It's a very good thing.
Yeah, we scored last minute. It's crazy.
It was last minute. I remember watching that. I was like, wow, we really struggled. And I was like actually worrying about that season. But
me too.
Yeah, I mean that was our toughest team.
Crazy to say. Maybe a bit of underestimation from the team. I would say I would chalk it up to that, but definitely the worst game. But then we came back and Cologne 4-1.
Yeah, I mean at the end of the day, going just back to that game, if you play against a worse team, you're definitely gonna play worse. You know, that's how it is. If you play away from home, if you play against like a bad opponent, you're gonna play bad. You know, sometimes that's just how it goes. Sometimes that's footy at the end of the day. I'm sure if it was at home or if it was just a different day, it was just one of those days essentially.
Magic of the Pokal.
Exactly, magic of the Pokal, magic of like those little continental cups, like FA Cup, stuff like that. So it happens for sure. So now going to that Cologne game, I remember that game was the first game that we got scored on first. We went behind first. So it was kind of crazy to see that. And then we immediately, I think like 3 minutes after that, I think we scored like 2 goals. Harry Kane, what a goal. That has to be my favorite goal this season for sure.
That was crazy.
From Harry Kane. I don't know how we put that in. It's just absolutely fantastic. So that was a shaky game, but then we ended up winning 4-1 at the end of the day, which, you know, that game, we definitely struggled a little bit. Urbic actually came in clutch a bit of time. You know, Cologne is a very dangerous side this year, so we won 4-1 away from home.
It's a good team to beat.
Exactly. 4-1 away from home. They have some great players like Almala, which we're interested, Kaminski, you know, they definitely have some decent players up there for sure. So definitely, they're definitely cooking. So yeah, 4-1 away from home, take that. And Pokal win.
And Union Berlin next. But lastly, but not least at all, crazy game last week. Obviously, thank you guys for tuning in for all the PSG videos. It's been amazing to support. But yeah, the Champions League, the big old Champions League, we're clearly favorites right now. And it's been one of our best Champions League seasons in a very, very, very long time. Only Arsenal to take down next, and that'll be easy. But let's get into the Champions League fixtures from this season. I mean, lock it all in.
So we started with that game against Chelsea. Everyone was saying, oh, Chelsea's going to win because they won the Club World Cup. Oh, we have Cole Palmer back. Yeah, no. You're in Bayern Munich. You're in the Allianz Arena. You had a fluke Champions League win. You had 1 corner, 1 shot on target, and you scored it. Okay, whatever. In another game, we would have destroyed you 5-1 at the end of the day, Chelsea fans. Hey, watch me in the comments down below. You guys could do that, whatever you want. But at the end of the day, 3-1 win. Could have been more for Bayern. I can't believe people actually say that Chelsea should have probably won that game or they could have won
Criminal
that game.
take.
No, the Bayern could have won easily 5-1, 6-1 that day. Please fix your ball knowledge. Premier League fans, you guys are not it, let me tell you. So Bayern 3-1, Kane came in clutch. I think we had a little bit of an own goal there from the Olise cross, if I'm not too mistaken. Yeah. And at the end of the day, that goal that Chelsea scored was Fugazi because Ta got fouled. Lock that in.
Yeah, 3-1 Chelsea. Not much more to say. We knew it was going to happen. Even this was before the run we've been on. And yeah, we just cooked you like we've cooked everyone else this season. Yeah. And that's about it. That's the story. The Premier League overrated. Farmers League talks got shut down, but they're always going to come back up because, you know, Prem fans have short-term memory loss.
We got it back for Arsenal now. now. They're commenting Farmers League. So we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
And then, obviously, a real Farmers League game was Paphos versus Bayern.
Don't say that.
It was 5-1. And, it was just absolutely free 3 points. We knew it was going to happen. We tried to make it sound a little scarier than it was, but we knew it was going to go down after the form we've been in. And, Jackson scored on you. You know what that means.
Listen, Paphos won against Villarreal 1-0. They finished pretty high in the La Liga last year, so who is really the farmers here at this point? I think it's La Liga. I wouldn't say Paphos won 1-0, locked that in. So a win against Paphos. I think their only loss came from Bayern Munich this season, because I know they tied 2 games and I know they won against Villarreal. So definitely a team. We're the only team that won against them, which is kind of crazy since this is their Champions League debut. So props to you, Paphos fans, if you guys are watching. Lock that in. But 5-1 win against Paphos away from home. Cannot complain. 5 goals right there. Absolutely fantastic.
And then Club Brugge comes up next, where we absolutely saw Leonard Carl tear it up in his Champions League debut, or his debut goal. And he absolutely put himself onto the world stage. That was really just the takeaway from this whole game. Club Brugge are usual in the Champions League, not an opponent we're not familiar facing. Very familiar facing, actually, I believe. And just the big takeaway, sure, 1-4-0, took care of business, clean sheet. But we all know Leonard Carl was the talk of this game and the talk of that week.
At the end of the day, Club Brugge, you guys saw last week what happened. They drew against Barcelona. And in fact, I think they got robbed at the end. I'm a big advocate for Szczęsny, obviously, because I'm Polish, but he definitely messed up, and that should have been counted as a goal. So, with that being said, we destroyed them 4-0, and Barcelona struggled against them. I don't know what they're doing.
Where that's going.
Exactly. So, at the end of the day, we are cooking. And Leonard Carl had a man-of-the-match performance against Club Brugge. So, and what did Yamal do? Maybe he scored, but he didn't have a man-of-the-match performance. But lock that in for sure. So, Leonard Carl, Bayern Munich against Club Brugge 4-0. Cannot complain whatsoever. Now, remember, Barcelona fans, they were saying, oh, you guys are stopping against Farmers. You played against the Farmers, and what happened? 3-3. Lock that in. Now we move on. Final game. And definitely my favorite game so far, for sure. It had it all. Let's dive right deep into it.
PSG Bayern is all the people could talk about. Red card this. We do not care. Hakimi get better, but we lock that in. Luis Diaz with 2 goals and a little takedown on the side as well. Give it a little chips and guac, however you like. However you like it. But Luis Diaz absolutely turned up. He saved the biggest game of the season for sure.
Yeah, definitely my favorite game so far. Luis Diaz scored 2 goals. Great pressing for him from the second goal. Obviously, great positioning for the first goal as well when Olise missed that one-on-one. So he got the rebound, of course. And honestly, that game really, at the first half before that red card, that game could have actually been like 5-0 to Bayern. Genuinely.
You say that about every game.
Genuinely speaking, you guys could, we had so many chances. Kimmich had a chance. Kane had a chance. It was absolutely crazy. Gnabry hit the post.
Stanisic offside goal.
Man, that game could have definitely been 5-0 at the half. That first half was one of the best
halves of football
I've seen in a long, long time. Probably since Hansi Flick, I'm not gonna lie, when we won the treble. So I really cannot complain too much.
Let's get into the Luis Diaz apology cam from both of us. And I'll let Pat start with that.
All right, so the Luis Diaz apology cam. I have to apologize to our boy Luis Diaz. I'm sorry to all my Colombians at the end of the day. I'm a type of person to admit that I was wrong at one point. And this situation, I am wrong without a doubt. The main reason why I was a little bit skeptical about the Luis Diaz, not because of his quality as a player. He's a really great player. Obviously, we see that how well he integrated in that Liverpool team essentially when he was playing there for sure. And we see how struggling they are right now. So with that being said, I was more complaining about the price. And I think a lot of people would probably agree with me on that. Don't be fake. You guys, a lot of you did agree on that for sure. A lot of you guys also disagree too, which is fair, of course, but a lot of you did also agree with that as well. But I would like to say apologies for Luis Diaz. Apologize to all my Colombians. Colombian woman. He's, I know this guy's a Latina lover, but hey, game is game at the end of the day. But Lucho, great player. I know a lot of people complain about that red card for Hakimi. Game is game at the end of the day. That's football. It happens. Look what also happened to Musiala. Obviously, hope that Hakimi's okay. But Lucho, he has been cooking this season. I think he's already almost at double digits for goal contributions, I'm pretty sure. Just doing kind of like a raw reaction right now. So, Lucho, Colombian legend. Hopefully bring us some Colombian PR. Colombia make it far in the World Cup. Bayern PR, lock that in. Come on, boys. We apologize to Lucho Diaz. Lock that in.
With that, I guess we'll go into his stats right before I apologize. 9 matches in the Bundesliga, and he has 9 goal contributions. contributions. So 5
close.
goals, 4 assists. But then DFB-Pokal, we've only played 2 matches, and he already has 2 goal contributions, goal and assist.
Come on.
And we haven't even done the Champions League yet,
Oh.
which we all know he has 4 matches, and he has 3 goals, 0 assists, but another 3 goals.
There you go.
So there you go, right there. That's a bunch of goal contributions throughout the season. I mean, almost like basically a goal contribution a game in all competitions, which is absolutely insane. And with that, I will officially do my apology to Luis Diaz before the game. I mean, before the season. Just obviously, we were skeptical of this move with all the reasons that Pat just mentioned, and I was definitely on board. I definitely agree with him, and all I can say is that I'm sorry, Luis Diaz. I wasn't familiar with your game. Yeah, I mean, nah, I definitely was, but not to this extent. And we can all agree that this is the best season he's ever had in his pro career. I think we could already say that without a shadow of doubt, and it just goes to show that we weren't completely wrong, even though we are apologizing, because he's turned into a different beast under company, as a lot of these players have. I mean, he's working with Gnabry right now, so just, I mean, if he could do that, he could work wonders with Luis Diaz, and clearly that's happening. But to all my toxicas, to all my toxicos, to all my colombianas, to all my colombios, I am officially apologizing about Luis Diaz.
Also, another thing that we also forgot to mention that just came up when Joey was yapping, the fact that Luis Diaz is tracking back is absolutely fantastic. He has been cooking on our defense. He's been helping on the left side, which we are definitely lacking for sure, because sometimes Limer plays there, Chloe plays there, sometimes Guerrero plays there for sure. And our left side, our back position, I would say is probably the weakest position right now that we have. Thank you, Luis Diaz, and you know, we're definitely apologizing for all of our terrible take for that. I mean, I don't agree with the price, and I still don't agree with the price. I wish it would just be just a little bit more, but that's just me being skeptical. But as long as he's providing great numbers, which he is, I'm happy. So at the end of the day, to all my Colombianas, to all my Colombianos, I do apologize. Colombia's gonna be cooking at the World Cup. Lock that in for sure. And then maybe bring Richard Rios with us instead of Leon Goretzka. Lock that in.
All right, yeah. Well, there you go. Season review. It's a wrap. Early, way too early season review for Bayern Munich. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. If you have any negatives or just anything to say, obviously about Bayern or
us,
the season, or that too, in the comments below. Thank you guys again so much for watching and the support. Very, very close to 10K. So if you aren't subscribed, please lock that in, because we are so close, and it would be awesome to hit that. And
and turn that notification bell for new videos, shorts. You already know the drill. Thank you guys again so much for the love.
We'll see you in the next one. Peace.